How's it going, everybody? Landon with the Truck Boss Show. Thank you so much for joining us on this special segment of the Truck Boss Show. As always, next to my dear friend Isela.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, be a part of this conversation. Like, comment, and share. We want your friends. We want you to be a part of all that we're talking about today. And what's cool is we're a part of the Sunbeam conversation when it comes to a great organization and also the people that actually have been in the trucking industry for so long, Isela. And we're going to actually pull back the curtains on the stories and so much more.
That's right. We're going to get real with him. And of course, a big shout out, big thank you to Talina, to Miss Angie, Miss Kathy. I loved her. She was amazing. And to Preston, you guys had amazing stories. And you know, well, these are stories that these are people who were on the road at one point or are familiar with the industry, you know, and I'm not going to tell you all the details because I want you guys to see it and hear it for yourself. But these are stories that actually hit home. I know for me it did, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be for you guys. So we're going to go ahead and let you guys check this out and you tell us what you think.
I'm joined here with Talina and Preston. Thank you guys so much for your time and spending some time with us here on the Truck Boss Show. Telling your story because you guys have a unique story. You grew up with a single mom, life on the road as an OTR driver she was, and got into trucking. And if you don't mind, I'll start with you, Talina. Tell us a little bit about what life with your brother was like with mom on the road, because you guys have been to all 48 states.
Yeah,
that's great.
Well, been everywhere but Alaska and Hawaii. And it was interesting. It was neat. I think we really enjoyed going to hotels and staying a lot and sleeping in. We had bunk beds in Mom's truck, and it caused a lot of fights on who got the top
I've never
bunk.
seen a bunk bed in a cab. That's awesome.
Really? Yeah.
I haven't. Yeah. That's awesome.
We always fought over who was going to get the top bunk. I always won. But
that's good, of course. The sister always wins.
The sister always wins. And I was the only girl and the baby, so it's just natural, right?
So what was the age? I mean, do you recall when it's your first time out on the road? Were you 3, 4? Were you 6, 7? How old were you?
From stories I've heard, we were infants when we started going.
Oh, really?
Mom was always say that she always say that we always bounce up in sleeper and all that stuff, and she'd always keep an eye on us. But
Yeah.
it was quite challenging. Yeah. Yeah.
So, Preston, let's dive a little bit deeper into that. What was so challenging from your perspective?
Well, it's just, you know, you didn't live a normal life. Life wasn't easy, you know. You always on the road, you're gone away from home, and it just wasn't an easy life, you know. And but the challenge was you're just away from home, away from family and all your friends and all that stuff. You really didn't live a normal kid life.
You weren't able to build bonds or relationships because you didn't have that. As you know, I was married to a military for some time, and it's similar to that because you weren't able to establish those relationships. And then being over the road, the health factor, not having access to nutritious foods at all times, and
you guys were on the road in the 70s, 80s. I mean, this was, you know, before all the regulation that we see today.
I tease now that we weren't given water, we were given black coffee, and that's what we drink now. So.
Yeah, absolutely. A trucker's best friend is that
right.
coffee.
Yep.
If you guys don't mind, tell us about your mom a little bit, because she got into trucking young and kind of had to skirt the behind the scenes.
She was a teen mom, and she had her first child when she was 15, and her father was a truck driver. She forged some documents and got her license a little bit earlier than she probably should have, so that she could support her child. And she went into trucking at the age of, I want to say she was 17 when she was started.
Wow,
17.
Yeah,
and
that wouldn't happen today.
No, it wouldn't happen today. And you know, up until I don't think she ever got her license fixed. It was always a joke in the house. What's your real birthday, Mom? I don't know. Check my license.
Whatever it needs to be.
Yeah, and it just we never actually really knew what year she was born. But then, you know, she drove, and it was challenging being a single parent and driving because she didn't have always the best reliable sitters. We kind of
Raised ourselves.
Yeah, at the age of 12, she decided we were old enough to live alone. And so we would go out with her on summer breaks. But during school years, you know, we had track and we had football and we had homework and FBLA and FHA, and you know, we were very active.
So, Preston, when you guys were 12, 13 years old, obviously Mom's still out on the road, and you're at home alone. How long would she be out on the road? Do you recall?
I mean, there would be times she'd be home at, you know, on the weekends, but weeks at a time. I mean, it was like night and day for us. We always took care of ourselves. We watched out for each other, but you know, at the most point, she did what she had to do to provide for her family, and we did the best we could to take care of that idea.
There were a lot of times she came home once a month.
Oh wow, that's tough. That's tough. Holidays and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, if we can shift gears a little bit, what's the best memory that you have? Now, I'll start with, I'm going to punt it over to Preston real quick. What's the best memory you have? 'Cause I know you said earlier it was challenging.
You know, my best memories about, you know, my childhood is just I got to travel around. I got to be with Mom, and you know, we had people take care of us when we were younger kids, you know, and we lived in Lexington, Oklahoma, and where we lived at, there was a parking spot, and there was always a truck there once in a while. We get all excited. We run to that truck, and sometimes it wasn't even Mom. Oh. But when it was Mom, the most exciting point is when you know your mom was there, and it was very, very exciting.
Hey guys, how's it going? Isela here with our Truck Boss Show. I'm sitting here with Miss Kathy Webb. Miss Kathy, thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Now tell us a little bit, so we're going to take it back. We're going to go back in time. So you're familiar also with the trucking industry.
Yes.
And that's been part of your family as well.
Actually, I'm 65 years old, and I can remember so much about my dad. And he hauled cattle from Amarillo. We lived in Hollis, a little community in southwest Oklahoma, very corner of the state. And he hauled the cattle from Amarillo, stopped off in Hollis to see us, and then went to Fort Worth, Texas with the rest, with the cattle.
Now, did you ever get to travel with him?
No, I remember being around the trucks and with people that were involved with the trucking companies, but I don't remember riding with him anywhere too far,
right,
around the block or something.
So we hope you enjoyed that video. I can tell you from a personal experience, I loved to hear about the kids on the road with their mother. Such a heartfelt story when it came to life on the road, and maybe you can relate. And if you can't relate, drop it in the comment thread, because we want to hear from you. And that's the cool thing about the Truck Boss Show, is that we're always going to pull back the curtain, when it comes to all the stories of what it really is like to be a trucker on the road and all the impacts that it has when it comes to the family. So we'd love to hear from you. Isela, I don't know about you, but it was just...
It was an amazing story. Let me tell you that when it came to Talina and her brother Preston, you know, like I mentioned before, when I say it hits home, I can relate to that. Being a single parent, learning how, you know, you're going to take that risk. You're going to do what it is that you have to do to survive for your children, for your family. Why? Because you have to figure out a way to make those ends meet. And of course, her story is amazing. She started at a young age and said, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. She joined in the trucking industry. And let me tell you, this is a male-dominated industry.
Right.
And for her to just jump in there and take that risk, and she took her kids along on the road. And I mean, they know what it's like to have Mom away from home.
Exactly. And what I loved about Mom is the fact that she did what it took, like you said.
Risk taker, I like that.
And what was cool is that she actually fudged her paperwork so that she could stay on the road, provide for the family, took the kids with her. It was just intense. And, you know, looking back when it came to the 70s, 80s, and 90s, all the regulations that have happened in the trucking industry.
A lot has changed.
A lot has changed. And what was cool is that this mom, she just navigated that change so beautifully. And the kids had a lot of great stories.
They had a lot of good memories.
Good memories, but also they had some painful memories. And on the flip side, it's because of those memories that it got them a part of the Sunbeam story, to where they're making a difference in so many kids' lives. And we want you to be a part of those kids' lives as well.
That's right. You know, I know that Preston does. He goes out and he likes to adopt families and, excuse me, he likes to take them out for dinner for the holidays, you know, because they know what it's like to not have that family there, that family member, that loved one. And so I think that it's very interesting how he's giving back to the community, back to someone, just like Talina, you know, she helps out a lot at the Sunbeam. Now, speaking of course, Miss Kathy. You know, the grandparents program is also amazing. Now, Miss Kathy, also familiar with the industry. You know, her father was a driver for years. It's in her family, you know, the brothers, the nephews, you know, it's a family thing, which is amazing because, again, you know, I mentioned this before, previous times, is we don't know what it's like to be a driver. We don't know we don't know what it's like to live the life of or with a driver.
Right.
So we have learned a lot. And let me tell you that these people are amazing. They're just like us. They have their jobs, of course, a little bit different. It's tougher, but of course, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have what we have today. And it takes a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot of hard work. And because of that, you know, that the history that they have in the industry with the family being part of it, now they feel it's like, hey, it's time to give back. And they know the feeling. So I think that's pretty amazing.
It is. And what's cool about this, if you're inspired to be a part of Sunbeam, check out this short clip to where you can learn about getting involved, not only financially, but also if you're in the local area, volunteering. Check this out.
To get connected is to go to our website, sunbeamfamilyservices.org. There's so many ways to get involved. You can, of course, volunteer your time right here at Sunbeam for one of our wonderful programs, or make a donation. This holiday season, we are looking to raise $87,000 to help our Oklahoma neighbors. And of course, we need support from the community for that. Whether it's a $10 donation, a $100 donation, every dollar is going to help us and will impact the lives of children, families, and seniors throughout Oklahoma.
And well, big thanks to Angie with Sunbeam. She did an amazing job, and of course, a lot of good information. Now, if you are interested and you want to give back, you want to be part of Sunbeam and their program, just, you know, reach out to them. If you want further information, they're going to be there to give you the information that you need. It's always awesome whenever you can give back to families, to other people, and especially if you understand and you feel that, you know, hey, I feel like it's time. Right now, I think is a perfect time, especially around the holidays. A lot of people have loved ones that they don't have around anymore that they do miss. Maybe they are around and there's no communication. You know, you can help. There's all kinds of things that you can do with Sunbeam, so you don't want to, you know, not miss that opportunity. So go ahead and you want to reach out to them. They're there to help you out.
That's right. And what's cool about this is that here at the Truck Boss Show, we're going to throw all those links in the comment thread so that you can easily link back to them to be able to donate, to be able to share that you're willing to volunteer. And you know what, Isela? Maybe someone here is willing to be a foster parent.
That's right.
There's so many kids.
There's so much.
What's crazy in the state of Oklahoma, in so many states, there's over 6,000 to 8,000 children that are ready to be fostered. And so maybe you're that person. We would love for you to be a part of that. And so here at the Truck Boss Show, we're always looking for opportunities to give back and to make a big difference. And for you, if it's not you, maybe you know somebody, tag them in this episode so that they can be a part of this and make sure that they make a difference in
someone else's life. Of course, it could be the kids, it could be family, anybody.
Exactly.
But there's just so much that can be done, and you know, there are times that we don't even think about it on a daily. So if you want further information, you also want to ask us and we can help you out, you can always put a comment down below, and we appreciate everything you do.
That's right. And so thank you so much for being part of this Truck Boss Show and this special edition with Sunbeam. We love the fact that you're engaged as much as you are. And remember why we do this?
Because you're the boss.